Ibiza may be heating up on Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 5, but First Officer Gary King and Chief Stew Daisy Kelliher's relationship is ice cold, which plays out during the season premiere. The formerly flirtatious co-workers return this season, but this time they are hardly speaking to one another. So what happened? Daisy and Gary left Season 4 in a gray area after he revealed to the crew and viewers that they had hooked up in the past, all while she was dating Chief Engineer Colin McRae. Gary continued to openly flirt with Daisy while she was dating Colin, and the love triangle imploded at the end of the season. Daisy and Colin split, and her relationship with Gary took some hits along the way. But after the season wrapped, they had some work-related drama at the reunion when Daisy said Gary could be a better leader and manager, which left Gary looking pretty annoyed. He hit back, complaining about having to help serve, claiming that guys on deck shouldn't have to serve food. That remark didn't sit well with the crew or Daisy. Colin didn't return for Season 5, but Daisy and Gary did, with a fractured relationship and hurt feelings. Daisy thought she cleared the air with Gary during the reunion, but the air was far from clear. We were actually fine post Colin and I breaking up. It was amicable. We broke up, it was fine, and Gary and I were fine. We weren't not friends, but we just lived very different lives. Daisy recalls to Entertainment Weekly of her relationship with Gary at the end of filming Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 4. I was fine going into the season. I was excited. And then we filmed the reunion, and that's when everything went awry, she recalls. So we filmed the reunion a few days before we started filming Season 5, and obviously a lot got brought up during filming the reunion. Daisy says Gary ghosted her after the reunion and wouldn't speak to her leading up to filming Season 5. He ignored me, and I was on my own, she recalls, sharing how she was alone during the days leading up to filming. I was overthinking and spiraling, and it got quite bad. It was quite dark, and I was really like, I really need to talk to you. I was very anxious going into this new season with so much hostility and anger. And he was quite mean to me. Unbeknownst to Daisy, she had struck a nerve during the reunion, and Gary was angry with her. I weirdly, apparently, had really upset him during the season or during the reunion, she says, sharing that he thought she wasn't very nice to him during the reunion. I was confused, so I wanted to talk about it. And he was just like, no, I don't want to talk to you, she says. So then we see each other on Parsifal. And obviously I was like, you were a dick. So yeah, I went in very, very freshly raw, very angry. There was a lot there that had really only happened a few days before that I did try and talk it out, and he didn't want to. So I was like, okay, if you don't want to, then here we are. Here's angry Daisy. Daisy admits she began the season angry with Gary. But does it last the entire season? I think the friction is still there for sure for seasons later, and especially going into this season with so many kind of negative feelings. It was hard for me to look the other way, she says. And I didn't feel supported by Gary in a lot of situations, whether it be work, whether it be our friendship or relationship. So I think I was being maybe a bit childish, but I think I was like, okay, the gloves are off. If this is how you want to play, this is how we'll play. And I do regret that a bit because I think that sort of negativity isn't beneficial to anybody. But at that stage, during the first charter, Daisy was just seeing red. In that moment, I did want to forgive. I didn't want to forget, but I think I just couldn't. And every time I felt unsupported, I was like, here we go again, two can play at this game. So I think we got on better as the season kept going because we are friends. We do have a bond because of the show, because of Parsifal. We work well together in some elements. So I think throughout the season that it does kind of wear off. But I think initially, if I remember correctly, it was still quite hostile between us.